Let's start working. I'm going to work the odd questions with you guys today. Let me start working questions 1 and 2. Stated the polygons are similar. In order for polygons to be similar, they must have the same angles. So I see that the two figures, number 1, have the same angle, so that's good. My sides have to be proportional. I'm using 15 and 12 from the first picture. I'm using 10 and 8 from the second picture. Either simplify the fractions or cross multiply, whichever one's more convenient. 15 times 8 is 120. 12 times 10, it is 120. Sides are proportional. The angles are equal. Therefore, I'm going to say my figures are similar. Now let's take a look at question number 3. The polygons in each pair are similar, so I'm already saying that the sides are proportional. I see the figure where I have an x. Remember the question mark, I call it x. So I'm going to be using x and 40. X goes with 21. 40 goes with 24. Once again, cross multiply, simplify as much as we want. Because I'm going to be using a calculator, I'm not going to simplify. 24 times x, I have 24x. 40 times 21, I have 840. Let me divide each side by 24, and I get that x equals 35. Same idea for number 5. The polygons in each pair are similar. So for x, I see where I have an x. I'm going to use this in this other figure. So x plus 5 and 14. I know x plus 5 goes with 24. 14 goes with 21. When I cross multiply this way, because of the plus sign, make sure the 21 you multiply to the x and to the 5. So 21 times x, 21 times 5. Now the other side, 24 times 14, that gives me 336. Let me subtract 1 of 5 on each side. So I have that 21x is equal to 231. Let me divide each side by 21. X equals 11. Now for questions 7 and 8, find the missing length. The triangles in each pair are similar. So I see that I'm going to be using x, and x is from the big triangle. So make sure you get 2 measurements from the big triangle, and I mean this triangle. I'm going to use x and 25. I notice that x goes with 6, 25 goes with 10. Cross multiplied, or simplify whenever you want. I'm not gonna simplify since I'm using a calculator. 10 times x is 10x. 25 times 6 is 150. Let me divide both sides by 10. X equals 15. Now let's take a look on the back. So for x, I'm going to use from this triangle, I'm going to use these 2 measurements, 6 plus 30x. And then I'm also going to use 130. If we can already see if 6 plus 30x is bigger, if it's bigger, it goes with 48. If 6 plus 30x is smaller than 130, it goes with 40. If we cannot tell, use the notation on the top. 6 plus 30x, it's made by the segment S and R. So it seems like I have to ignore the last letter. So let me ignore the last letter over here as well. 6 plus 30x goes with 48 with SK. Therefore, 130 goes with 40. I'm going to simplify a little here. 130 over 40, I'm going to call that 13 over 4. When I cross multiplied, I'm going to have 24 plus 120x, because I multiply the 4 to the 6 and 4 times 30. Now 48 times 13 is equal to 624. Let me subtract 24. I have 120x equals 600. Let me divide each by 120. And we get that x is equal to 5. Now looking at question number 11. We want to know if the triangles in each pair are similar. We have 3 rules. Side, 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 I will be using all 3 sides. Side, angle, side, I'm going to be using 2 sides and the angle in between. Or angle, angle, I'm going to be using 2 angles per triangle. When I see the small triangle, I see 36 and 40. When I see the big triangle, I see 99 and 110. I added those 2 numbers. I see only 2 sides per triangle, so let me try to go for side, angle, side. The 2 measurements of the small triangle are 36 and 40. The numbers from the big triangle are 99 and 110. Let me simplify the fractions or cross multiply. 36 times 110 is 3,960. 99 times 40 is 3,960. Angle T is used on both triangles. Sides are proportional. I have an angle, the angle in between. So TUV is similar to TDC by side, angle, side. Looking at number 13, I want to draw at least 2 triangles. I know this side right here is 9 because the whole thing is 25, take away 16. When I look at this triangle, the small side is 9, the hypotenuse is x. When I look at the big triangle, the small side is x, the hypotenuse is 25. Those are the 2 triangles I'm going to use. So I have that 9 and x from the first triangle, x and 25 from the second triangle, cross multiplied, x times x is x squared, 9 times 25 is 25, get the square root of each, x equals 15. Now lastly, number 15, where I see numbers only, I have 3 measurements, 2 small ones and the big one. I'm going to use 10. For the big side, I added the 2 values. Now, where I see the x, I'm going to use x and 5. X, which is the whole thing, goes with 10, and 5 goes with 2. Cross multiply, solve for x. I have the 2x equals 50. Divide both sides by 2. X equals 25.